Welcome back to another episode of the Ark Survival Guide. We are doing another raft building video, so I'm sorry if you're sick of these. I promise it's going to be worth it in the end because we will be able to do so much once we have this raft done. But for now, I'm going to have another, probably another solid video worth of building. So we'll do it pretty fast. We'll have it on high speed, and, feel free to skip. I won't feel bad. So the first thing we're doing is planting some ramps here. I'm actually going to build a giant dinosaur gateway here. We got all the materials together and gathered everything we needed to build one of these. So we have a giant stone dinosaur gateway. These things are huge. You can pull. I think you can even get a T-Rex through one if you're not riding him. If you're riding him, they won't fit. But most dinos we can fit through there. So I'm going to lay a few more foundations. We've been just gathering and building all kinds of stuff here. And we'll try to finish out as much as we can on this courtyard. And of course, I'm starving again. We're always starving and freezing and all that good stuff. But so we have a pretty nice bit of space here. And that's going to be a nice big courtyard to fit all of our dinos in. So we've got enough spaces down, I think, for foundations. And maybe I'll put one more here, so we've got enough room to definitely have enough space to get that dino door. So a dinosaur gateway does not actually snap to anything, except like fence foundation posts and other dinosaur gateways. So we're not going to have it automatically snap to any point on this foundations we've laid. So I'm actually going to kind of size this up a little bit. It should be about the width of exactly 2 foundations. Yep, that is just about perfect. And you can see here, I'm trying to line this up along those ramps. So let me get this stuff out of the way so it's real easy to see the lines between these foundations. The trouble with these dino gateways is they cost like, I don't know, close to 300 stone, tons of wood, tons of thatch. I mean, they are a really big investment, and if you place it wrong, it's just gone forever. So I really want to get this right, and I'm willing to waste some thatch door frames and all that stuff just to get this thing marked out. I also am placing this forward, so I'm standing on the inside of this gateway because it's going to open up outwards from where I am. And you could set it up to where it's opening inwards, but it uses up a decent amount of space and really gets annoying. I've had that happen before, so I really like to have these things just facing out. And I'm going to go ahead and make one more thatch door frame that I'll just demolish after I'm done, because I really want to get this thing lined up properly. So I'm going to stick that on the edge. If you don't get this lined up just right, you'll end up with cracks between your walls, and it just looks awkward. So I'm going to go ahead and get this thing lined up just right, and I'm tilting myself just a little bit to get this thing right along those doors. And you'll notice there's kind of some points that are pointing towards me down there, like it goes around a corner kind of going towards me on the bottom of that green outline. And that means this thing is facing outwards, and if I can line those up just along the cracks here, I'm going to be real precise on this because I'm kind of a perfectionist. But once we get it in place, that'll be, here we go, here's hoping. So let's see, don't have any cracks on this side, that side looks good, okay. So we have a really nice looking dino gateway here, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's what we're going to go with. Great. And now we have a ramp that leads up to that, and that's going to provide a solid, huge wall of protection for my dinosaurs. Nothing can really break through that, aside, anything that can break stone, like alpha predators and explosives and all that if you're playing on a PvP server. But everything we're going to be doing, that's going to keep us pretty darn safe. So kind of like a doorway, like a regular door frame, you've got the dino gateway, and then you've got the actual gate itself. And you can see that thing is just huge. It's got a lot of weight to it, but it provides excellent protection, and it gives you a lot of space to hide. So we've got that up. That looks great. I'm very happy with the placement on that one. So we're going to go ahead and put another one up. And I went and built this one, just kind of skipped ahead a little bit. I'm going to try to line this up with the edges of this platform here. It'll be a little easier to guide because I have the other gate frame to line it up with on the left side. And on the right side, I just have the edge of that platform. So I should be able to get this pretty evenly placed. So the reason I'm doing two gateways like this is one of them is going to open onto the courtyard where my dinosaurs can come in and out. And the other one is actually going to be a wall of my base. And the reason I want to do that is because I'm going to be doing a lot of gathering and just some massive amounts of gathering stuff. And I want to be able to just open up. That looks pretty good. It's hanging over just a touch, but you know, I'll try to stave off my perfectionism just a little bit. So that's going to work just fine. So now we have two gateways here. That looks really good. And I will be able to put some storage bins behind the second gateway, and that way I can open the whole thing up and just dump materials onto the storage bins and don't even have to worry about going through the door. So we spent all day gathering, skipping ahead again, and we've been getting materials we need to build a forge and smithy on the raft. We technically have ones at home, but I really don't want to travel all the way down the coast again. And since we can get so much stone now, it's not that bad to craft these again. So we're actually getting really close to where we can make a doedicarus saddle. You haven't really been seeing me level up because I've been kind of skipping around, but while I've been gathering stone and thatch and wood, we have just been gaining levels like crazy. You get a ton of materials, or you get a ton of experience from building stone foundations, stone walls, all that good stuff. So we have just been leveling up like madmen. And now we have a forge set up. And I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Gathered all the materials to make a smithy too. Now you need a smithy to make a doedicarus saddle. We also need a decent amount of metal. And we've been picking up bits of metal here and there, so we should be okay for that. And I'm going to try to set up this smithy here and a storage bin so that we'll have access to all of those really close together. So my vision for this is I eventually want this to basically serve as the wall to the interior of my base. And I want to be able to just open that dino gateway and have a row of storage bins and just be able to dump stuff right into them. So that looks like a pretty good space there. I don't think anything's going to be able to smash it through that door. And I will go ahead and place that. So that's just inside the door here. Nothing really sticking out. And I like to have my storage bin where it's close enough to the smithy and close enough to the forge where I can just move metal back and forth between them without actually having to move. So metal weighs a ton, and if you grab like a stack of metal, you're never going to be able to walk anywhere. So the easiest thing to do is to just make it so if I'm standing in the middle of these three structures, I can reach all of them without moving my feet. And so we actually leveled up during all of that, and we have gained the ability to make that doedicarus saddle. So that happened a lot faster than I expected, but we've basically just been getting so much stone from this doedicarus, from these tricks that we've been using, that we can just level up like crazy. It probably would have taken us a few hours to get that much stone on our own, but I'm just adding the last finishing touches here, getting some doors in the door frames, and gonna put a couple more foundations down. And this base is really coming along. So I'd like to extend this back just a bit more, I think. I love that coral, man. I'm always checking every time I pop down here to make sure we don't have any new whales or sharks or anything dangerous. Because as you saw before, sharks can pop out of nowhere. And I'll put down what I can here. This ramp is a little bit tedious to get up and down. Another annoying thing about being underwater is you can't actually eat underwater, so if you start starving, you gotta get back out of the water, So this is really coming along nicely. I'm kind of trying to complete a little bit of a wall here so we can have some protection from our forge and smithy. They're kind of out in the open, but they are actually in the stone tier, so they don't take a ton of damage from dinosaurs. So they're reasonably safe to have outside, but I still like to keep everything pretty well protected, so I'm going to put together a stone door frame so we'll have a little extra protection there. And we have a pretty good setup here. We've got our tiny little house and then some forge and smithy on the outside. So I'm going to drop down some materials and grab the finishing touch for a door. So yeah, On our next episode, we will do some hunting and gather the rest of the materials we need for that Doedicurus saddle. It'll be a much more interesting episode, so keep an eye out for that one. And we should be riding our Doedicurus really soon. And I've got another really interesting trick I want to try out with this raft, so we'll see how that works next time. So thanks for watching, and tune in next time.